Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Thanks for joining me. My name is Yatise. I didn't realize the damage alcohol was having on me until after I quit. Sometimes you kind of have to step away or be done with something to really realize the adverse effect that it's having on your health, your mental, your spirit. Anyways, when I stopped drinking alcohol, I noticed that it was easier for me to lose weight. I noticed I had more energy. I used to have high blood pressure. I don't have high blood pressure anymore. The doctor told me that I have fatty liver, and he said that it was unrelated to alcohol, but I no longer have fatty liver. When I was overweight, I used to have vitamin D deficiency. I used to have iron deficiency. And another deficiency I can't think of. But alcohol strips you of all your minerals. It dehydrates you. If you're trying to lose weight, dehydration is the worst thing that you can do to your body. Also, I noticed when I would drink alcohol, I would want to eat more. Like when I would drink, I would want to have tacos or something really yummy to pair with that alcohol. And also the next morning, being hungover, I would want to eat again, you know? So it was a very vicious cycle, and it was very hard to actually quit alcohol. It took me a few months to really be done with it. I used to drink a lot of wine, things of that sort, or clear liquor. That was my favorite. Also, I had a lot of like memory loss. Like I was very forgetful. I still am forgetful, but I'm not as forgetful as I was then. And I do attribute it to the alcohol. I didn't really notice how forgetful I am until I started like paying more attention. So those are some of the side effects that I personally had. Also the sleep pattern, alcohol, when you drink alcohol and you pass out, your body doesn't really get the sleep that it needs. You sort of just pass out. You're not really in rest mode because your body is still working to process that alcohol. With weight loss, you want to make sure you're resting a lot so your muscles can heal and so that you're not tired. Another thing, when I was really tired, I would tend to eat more. So alcohol is very high in calories. It's like one shot of like tequila, I believe, is like 100 calories or something. So those calories can add up very quickly, especially when you're making like margaritas or mojitos or things of that sort. Also, dealing with the depression and the anxiety, that was something that alcohol I had been using. I don't want to say cope, because when you're coping with something, you're actually doing well dealing with it. I guess I was just dealing with it with alcohol. You know, I would have a bad day at work and I would want to have a drink, or I would have, an argument with my then spouse, and I would want to have a drink. And instead of really getting to the root of the core of the issues, it kind of just blanketed them for the night and for the day, and I would just move on. And then those same issues would still be there the next morning when I was hungover. So alcohol really doesn't help you fix any of your problems. If anything, it only makes them worse, and it just prolongs the inevitable of what you need to do or what's going to happen if you don't do it. But I really had to ask myself, how did I even start drinking? And why did I feel the need to drink so much? Even though it was just wine, I was drinking quite often. So one main benefit of quitting alcohol that I noticed right away is my skin. When I was drinking alcohol, I had a lot of like bumps on my face. My skin was very dry, and I just looked older. Like looking at pictures of me from before I stopped drinking, I looked a lot older. I used to try to wear like a lot of makeup to kind of cover up those blemishes. But once I stopped drinking alcohol so much, my skin started to clear up. Either alcohol, or it could be the sugar that you're drinking with the alcohol, because sugar again is one thing that's horrible for our skin. And I'm still fighting the sweet tooth battle, the sugar battle. That's something that I'm still dealing with. When you drink alcohol, or you drink too much coffee, or you use hardcore drugs, you actually mess up your adrenaline glands. So in the beginning, it was very hard to quit. I noticed when I would try to quit, the people that I was around, I would tell them, no, I'm not drinking, and they would still get me something to drink from the store, or when we would go out, they would still order me a drink. I kind of had to distance myself from those people. Sometimes you just get in a habit of drinking too. So, it's hard to break those habits. They say it takes 31 days to form or break a new habit, but for me, it took a lot longer. I had went a couple weeks without drinking, and then I had like a glass of wine, and then I went a couple more months without drinking, and then I had like a shot. And every time I did that, before I actually was completely sober, I regretted it. Like, I could notice the difference in my body. Like, I was tired for days. When you're dehydrated, it takes your body actually a couple days to actually properly hydrate itself. So you're dealing with the backlash of that. And over time, it really can take a toll on your body. And you may not even be used to, you may not even notice it because you're just so used to being so tired. I used to feel so exhausted, like I needed a nap, like all day, every day. I used to just want a nap. And I really attribute that to the alcohol. It's 2.5 years, so we can say almost 3 years of me being sober. Every now and then people will try to convince me there's nothing wrong with drinking. It was very hard for me to get off alcohol, so I don't even chance it. Like when I go out to restaurants, I don't drink alcohol. I actually had a gentleman tell me that I'm a new person and I'm stronger and I'm able to deal with it, but I know I never want to be in that dark place again, so I don't drink at all for that reason. And it's very hard at times because sometimes I do catch myself feeling those old habits of just feeling very stressed, like you want to get a relief. And you know, you think about the alcohol, or even when I'm in the grocery store before, when I first quit, I would walk past the wine aisle and I'm like, oh, they got wine on sale. But you have to just kind of like be strong, and every time you kind of backslide, you just have to get back on. Don't backslide and then just feel like, okay, since I already backslid, let me just keep continuing drinking. Like, no, just get back on every time you fall off, and eventually you won't need it. I feel like alcohol only made my anxiety worse. I used to have really bad anxiety, panic attacks where I would feel like I was dying, and I feel like drinking the alcohol may have relaxed me for the time being, but I feel like the next day I was on edge, and it just made things worse. I wasn't really connected to a higher source. I didn't pray as much. I wasn't at peace. I wasn't at peace in myself, and I wasn't at peace in the world. And I feel like when you drink alcohol, you don't have clarity. It's harder to stay inspired. When you're hungover, you don't want to go work out. When you're hungover, you don't feel like eating a salad. So all those things kind of, work against you if you're trying to lose weight, or if you're just trying to feel better about yourself in general. So when I used to be very depressed or very sad, I used to want to get alcohol and give me something nice to eat. And I used to want to lay up in the bed or on the couch and watch Netflix. I used to watch like horrible shows, like reality shows. And I kind of would just live my life through them instead of getting up and doing what I needed to do to live a better life, to be happy, to be fulfilled. Like when you stop drinking, certain people in your life may distance, or the dynamic of the relationship may change. Like I used to have a buddy, all we did was eat and drink together. And when I started to lose weight and I started to not drink, the dynamic of the relationship changed a bit. So, this channel is not to give you diet advice. It's not to give you workout videos. It's to basically give you the mental behind what I went through when I was trying to lose weight. I feel like there's enough YouTube channels out there that talk about what you need to do to lose weight, but my channel is more so the struggles that I went through, like body dysmorphia, bulimia, anorexia, binge eating is a big one, emotional eating, peer pressure, childhood traumas, things of that sort that you need to really deal with and address. For some people, yes, if you're just trying to lose 20 pounds, it may not be that deep. But if you've been overweight your whole life, or if you've had this weight that you've been holding on to, you have to really ask yourself, the first question is, are you happy with who you are? Do you love yourself? Do you have self-love? Because if you have self-love, you wouldn't want to put poison in your body. If you have self-love, you would take care of yourself. Like, you only have one body. It's not like a car. It's not like you can go purchase another body. I mean, people are buying stuff for their body. But you catch the gist of what I'm saying. Like, you have to really ask yourself, like, do you love and respect yourself? Your body is a temple, and you have to treat it like so. My 2 sons, I don't want them to see me drinking alcohol a lot and thinking that it's okay. I don't want them to see me stressed and then like reaching for the bottle. I feel like stress management is important. That's one thing I feel like they don't teach you enough at school, at home, like learning to manage your stress. A lot of breath work. I do a lot of things besides drinking alcohol to help me stress manage better. That way when you stress manage, you can come up with a solution instead of stress managing and then drinking alcohol and passing out and then waking up and you still have the same problems tomorrow. The problems don't go away. The problems are not going to magically disappear if you go reach for the vodka or the pink Moscato. They're still going to be there tomorrow. So the best thing you can do, like I say, is accept where you're at and know that you're human and give yourself that same love and care that you would for a child or a niece or a nephew or your best friend. Give yourself that same encouragement, that same support that you would give to someone that you really love. And just stay stern, but with care. You know, if you fall off, it's okay. Don't beat yourself up. Just, I made a mistake. I got to learn from my mistake and I'll move on. It's going to take you a while to really quit if you've been drinking for years like I was. And especially if everyone around you drinks, if you kind of like work in an environment where you drink, or everyone after work goes and get a drink, like things like that make it harder. Also, sometimes when you're making big changes in your life, it's better to not tell people while you're making the change. A lot of times it's better to just kind of keep those changes that you want to manifest to yourself until they're complete, because sometimes the people closest to us, they want what's best for us, or they may be concerned, or they may project, you know, since they can't stop drinking, they feel like you can't, or if they feel like their drinking is okay, they may try to make you feel like you drinking is okay. When I used to drink alcohol a lot, I feel like I didn't make the best decisions, and I didn't really notice until looking back. But you know, one of those times I was drinking alcohol, I got pregnant. Another time I was drinking alcohol, I messed up my car. Another time I was drinking alcohol, I lost my job because I was hungover, because I used to always be late for work. So, you know, a lot of times you may not notice it, but it is ruining your life, and you just don't notice it because you're just so in the midst of everything that's going on. Sometimes you really have to take a step back and analyze, why are you doing the things you're doing? Are you doing them out of habit? Are you doing them because everyone else is doing it? Like, is it helping you get closer to your goals, whether it's physical, financial, spiritual? A lot of times alcohol is not the answer. It's not going to help you make any type of traction in your life. It's going to actually slow you all the way down, if not stop you and send you in the wrong direction. And anyone who is against you bettering yourself is someone you need to run far away from. Alcohol, when you drink it, it turns right into sugar. So that's the worst thing you can do, is spike your insulin levels if you're trying to lose weight. Sugar. Sugar is a drug. I'm addicted myself. I'm trying to get off of it. It's very hard. And to anyone out there who's trying to quit alcohol, you can do it. Believe in yourself and just try to stay positive. If you have a religion, try to pray. Try to read books. Try to remember why you're quitting alcohol and how much better your life would be once you quit alcohol. You can do it if I did it. Okay, so I'm going to give a shout out to all who made it to the end of the video. If you made it to the end of the video, please make sure to hit like and subscribe for future content. Okay, everyone stay safe and have a blessed day. Bye.